What's up, everybody? Gabriel Gregson here. So, Saturday is looking interesting, at least for me. Looks like we might be getting severe weather starting Friday night across sections of Kansas, and then expanding eastward as the day goes on Saturday, and eventually, by the time Saturday night hits, affecting parts of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Mississippi, as well as other states possibly. So, what I have decided to do is go through and film all the hazardous weather outlook products from National Weather Service offices over NOAA Weather Radio so that you guys can hear what is expected where and how things are going to play out. Fall is oftentimes known as the secondary severe weather season. So sometimes we do get these fall systems that produce these potent outbreaks, and this one is going to be especially strong in terms of a storm system. We've seen posts over on X, aka Twitter, from the National Weather Service in Indianapolis, for example, calling for robust, gusty southerly winds and a widespread heavy rainfall event from a storm system forming this weekend over the Great Lakes and plains of the United States. So, yikes. Right now I have a Wichita station pulled up, KPS 511 in Great Bend. This storm system is also going to usher in a very potent cold front.
The current time is 7:44 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Another mild day was observed across the region today while some showers and storms impacted parts of northwest Kansas. Afternoon high temperatures ranged from the 70s in far northwest Kansas to the low to mid-80s elsewhere across the state. Breezy southerly winds were common in central and western Kansas. A cold front will begin to move slowly southeastward across Kansas tonight, allowing some showers and isolated storms to linger over parts of western and central Kansas. Lows tonight will fall into the lower 40s in extreme northwest Kansas, while southeast Kansas sees lows in the mid-60s. A cold front will continue to progress eastward into central Kansas during the day on Friday. This front will become a focus for showers and thunderstorms late in the day. Afternoon highs will range from the upper 60s in northwest Kansas to the mid-80s in southeast Kansas. This hazardous weather outlook is for portions of central Kansas, south central Kansas, and southeast Kansas. For tonight, there is a slight chance for showers or thunderstorms late tonight across central Kansas. Strong or severe storms are not expected. For Friday through Wednesday, chances for thunderstorms will increase for south central and southeastern Kansas for Friday night through Saturday morning. A few strong to marginally severe storms are possible. Spotter activation is not anticipated tonight. Here is your National Weather Service report.
So there you go. As you just heard, south central into southeast Kansas Friday night. A few strong to marginally severe thunderstorms are possible in that area. And that is, again, that cold front that is expected to eventually trigger thunderstorms over my section of Illinois. Now, there is some questionable stuff happening. There is some questions remaining in terms of the timing as well as the amount of storm fuel in my region for severe weather, but we will just have to play it by ear. And just saying, I will probably be going live regardless because judging by the size of this risk, there's going to be severe weather somewhere. It's just a matter of where are the storms going to fire. That's the million-dollar question, is where are these thunderstorms going to fire off, and how potent will they be when they move into these areas. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video while I wait for another hazardous weather outlook product from another NOAA Weather Radio station. By the way, I am using Broadcastify for right now. So, here we go.
time is currently 7:51 p.m. Central Daylight Time. You are listening to NOAA Weather Radio, KZZ 81, serving Chicago, the west and south suburbs, and northwest Indiana. The current time is 7:55 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Now here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of north central Illinois, northeast Illinois, and northwest Indiana. For tonight, no hazardous weather is expected at this time. And now the extended outlook for the period Friday through Wednesday. Friday night, limited thunderstorm risk. Saturday, limited thunderstorm risk, with an associated level 1 of 5 severe thunderstorm risk. Discussion. A storm system is expected to move through the area Friday night through Sunday morning, bringing periods of showers and a few thunderstorms. A few stronger storms are possible on Saturday, mainly south and east of the Kankakee River Valley. Spotter information statement. Spotter activation will not be necessary through tonight. At 7 p.m. at O'Hare Airport, it was partly cloudy. The temperature was...
So as you just heard there, even in the Chicago area, a few stronger to severe storms are possible, mainly south and east of the Kankakee River Valley, which basically is encompassing far eastern Illinois into far western Indiana. So even people in like the southern and eastern part of northern Illinois need to be on the lookout for this. So just goes to show you how big this severe weather risk really is, because it's a pretty good sucker.
And now the extended outlook for the period Friday through Wednesday. There is a chance for thunderstorms late Friday night through Saturday evening across the area. A few storms could be strong to severe Saturday afternoon and evening. Spotter activation is not expected at this time. The current time is 7:58 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This is NOAA Weather Radio KDO 89 St. Louis, Missouri, broadcasting on 162.550 MHz. This program originates from the National Weather Service Forecast Office in St. Louis, Missouri, and serves parts of east central Missouri and southwest Illinois, including the St. Louis metro area and surrounding counties. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows around 60.
I'm also going to play you, according to KDO 89, the forecast for Friday night through Saturday night.
Friday, partly sunny. Highs in the lower 80s. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy in the evening, then mostly clear with a slight chance of showers after midnight. Lows in the mid-60s. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain 20%. Saturday, a chance of thunderstorms. Showers. Highs in the lower 80s. Temperature falling into the mid-70s in the afternoon. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 90%. Saturday night, a slight chance of thunderstorms. Showers, mainly in the evening. Cooler with lows around 50. Southwest winds around 10 miles per hour, becoming west after midnight. Chance of rain 90%. Sunday, sunny. Much cooler with highs in the mid-60s.
So as you can see, this is going to be a very strong and very potent cold front, dropping temperatures from the 80s on Friday and Saturday to the 60s on Sunday in terms of highs. Lows are going to fall from the 60s tonight to the 40s by Sunday night, which is crazy, just crazy.
Here is the hazardous weather outlook. Issued at 3:26 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 2:26 p.m. Central Daylight Time for portions of southern Indiana and central Kentucky. For tonight, no hazardous weather is expected at this time. And now the extended outlook for the period Friday through Wednesday. A strong cold front is expected to move across the region Saturday night into Sunday morning. Gusty winds of 20 to 30 miles per hour are expected Saturday afternoon, and winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour are possible on Sunday. Additionally, a few strong thunderstorms are possible late Saturday evening into early Sunday morning. Spotter information statement. Spotter activation may be needed Saturday night. More information, along with other weather, hydrological and climate information can be found at weather.gov/Louisville. This is the climate data for Louisville for today. Since midnight, the high temperature was 72. The low was 60. No precipitation fell.
Here is the hazardous weather outlook for portions of the Missouri, Ozarks, and the extreme southeast Kansas for today and tonight. Weather hazards expected. Elevated fire weather risk. Discussion. Some gusty southeast winds at 15 to 25 miles per hour will combine with humidity levels dipping into the 30 to 40% range west of you south. 65 to produce some elevated fire weather conditions this afternoon. And now the extended outlook for the period Friday through Wednesday. A strong cold front will push through the area on Saturday. Ahead of the front, showers and thunderstorms will be possible. Some of these storms may become strong to severe with damaging wind and large hail as the main severe weather risks. An isolated tornado risk cannot be ruled out. Heavy rain will accompany the storms, and if enough training of storms occurs ahead of the front, then a localized flood risk will be possible. Spotter information statement. Spotter activation will not be needed through tonight. Here is your National Weather Service forecast for extreme southeast Kansas as well as southwest Missouri, including the cities of Joplin.
So as you can hear, these storms are expected to start off in western Missouri, across the Ozarks, and may become severe over that area as well. And that's likely to be where at least part of the St. Louis line starts, over the Ozarks, ahead of that cold front. So again, we will just have to wait and see what happens. But again, I will likely be going live regardless of where these thunderstorms fire off in terms of the severe weather, because as you can hear, this risk currently stretches anywhere from Chicago to Kansas. That's a big area.
At 8 p.m. Here are key messages for the next 7 days. A warming trend will continue through late week, with high temperatures reaching the mid to upper 80s on Friday. A cold front will pass through the mid-south Saturday night, bringing the threat of strong to severe storms. Damaging winds and localized flash flooding are the primary concerns. Temperatures will cool significantly Sunday and into the beginning of the next week, with highs in the low to mid-70s and lows in the 40s and 50s. Here is a forecast.
So as you just heard there, even parts of Memphis are dealing with this risk. So now literally this stretches from Chicago to parts of Kansas to all the way down into Mississippi possibly. So this is going to be a big one, a real big one. I'm just saying, it's looking kind of ugly. And even if it's not going to be like particularly strong in terms of like, we're not looking at enhanced or moderate yet, who knows? We could see it enhanced somewhere by Saturday. There's still time. Saturday, technically, right now, is still, as of Thursday, the day 3 outlook. And right now, the day 3 max, I believe, is a slight. So we will just have to wait and see where the models can basically come together, and if, they upgrade these risks. Because if they do, this could get real interesting. Because high temperatures on Saturday in the Mid-South, mid to upper 80s. That's insanely warm for this time of year. Anywhere, really. Because remember, the Mid-South starts really in the Missouri boot heel. This office, Memphis, serves anywhere from Dunklin and Pemiscot counties in southeast Missouri to far northeast Mississippi. All the way into parts of Arkansas and Tennessee. Missouri, Arkansas, West Tennessee, basically Missouri Boot Heels, eastern Arkansas, western Tennessee, and northwestern Tennessee, as well as northwestern, north central, northern, and northeastern Mississippi. So this is going to get really interesting because Memphis serves a pretty good sized warning area. So if they're calling for storms, and they don't usually mess around either. They're usually one of the better offices when it comes to forecasting thunderstorm activity. Another office that I usually trust would be Paducah. And so we're going to get to Paducah here in a few minutes, actually. It might be that time. Let's see. Yep, it is almost that time. You're going to go back to the
At Owensboro, it was clear.
Alright, there we are on the Evansville NOAA Weather Radio feed. And while I wait for this outlook, I am going to say too, even St. Louis, the fact that they're saying on their outlook already that a few strong to severe thunderstorms are possible Saturday is, it could equal something pretty bad happening, because usually if St. Louis doesn't start saying that there are strong to severe storms possible until like the day before.
Fort Campbell reported 64, and Bowling Green reported 65. The current time is 8:14 p.m.
All right.
Daylight time.
So after their forecast product
The latest National Weather Service forecast
from Paducah for the Evansville area, we should be hearing the outlook from the National Weather Service in Paducah, Kentucky. And the reason I trust Paducah, Kentucky a lot is because they are one of the more conservative leaning offices when it comes to looking at risks and what are things going to do and how are things going to evolve and whatever. They're usually one of the more conservative looking offices when it comes to those things. They've even stated that when it came to, for example, looking at the December 10th, 2021 Western Kentucky Twister. That night was the first time they had ever issued a tornado emergency. And that should tell you something, because some offices had already issued a ton of tornado emergencies. Think Norman, Wichita, trying to think. There were several that had already issued, some tornado emergencies by that point. Paducah had issued none, and they hadn't really issued many PDS warnings for tornadoes either up to that point. And even now, I don't recall the last tornado emergency was an EF4 that hit Marion, Illinois. I believe it was earlier this year or last year. I forget when it was, but it was that was the first tornado emergency in their area, I believe, since it had been the first tornado emergency in their area in a couple of years. So it's pretty significant when that office issues a tornado emergency, because they're, like I said, a conservative leaning office. They don't tend to go extreme and look at the worst case scenario, unless the worst case scenario, of course, is what's expected, which I don't know. So we are about to see what is expected with this hazardous weather outlook from the National Weather Service office in Paducah regarding Saturday's event. Here we go.
This hazardous weather outlook is for southern Illinois, southwest Indiana, western Kentucky, and southeast Missouri. Day 1, this afternoon and tonight. No hazardous weather is expected at this time. Days 2 through 7, Friday through Wednesday. Widespread showers and thunderstorms are forecast Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. A few of the storms could become severe, with a couple brief tornadoes, damaging wind gusts, and large hail being the main risks. Spotter information statement. Spotter activation may be needed. Here are the 8 p.m. observations for the
Okay.
Evansville Tri-State region.
So the fact that they're saying spotter activation may be needed, I'm wondering, somebody might have to help me with this, but I'm wondering if there's any hint in terms of the SPC outlooks of a possible upgrade being issued for part of this risk. Because, again, with them being conservative leaning, they normally wouldn't be saying spotter activation may be needed until like the day of, maybe the night before. Let's see. Do we have any other offices in here?
Evansville area, NOA, Mountain, Fulton, Lit, Ashland, Tyler, Minneapolis, Menlo, Sioux Falls, Fargo, Ridge, NOAA, Lubbock area, NOAA weather Waco, W, Buchanan area, Cleveland area, NOAA weather radio, WWG83, Edwardsport/Vincent. This area, other, various, 0 listeners.
I know Indianapolis is in this risk.
NOAA weather radio station KC55. NOAA weather radio station KC55. Fort. NOAA weather radio station KC. NOAA Cleveland area. NOAA Buchanan. NOAA Lubbock area. NOAA weather.
As well as I know that Little Rock is also in this risk, but unfortunately Little Rock has not been doing hazardous weather outlooks. They stopped doing those earlier this year. I made a community post when that happened. It's a shame, honestly. It is a big shame that they stopped doing those, and it's thanks to short staffing because of all the issues that have been going on with the federal government and the National Weather Service recently. They stopped doing the hazardous weather outlooks at the National Weather Service in Little Rock. Now, there's other offices too that actually don't do them anymore. Another office that I can actually think of is, well, there's 2 of them actually that I can think of. Fort Worth stopped doing them, as well as Shreveport, Louisiana stopped doing them. So it's kind of creepy because they're all within, and also Norman, Oklahoma stopped doing them, which that really sucked because when there was events in the summertime, oh boy, I loved listening to Norman's to see, especially with those storm systems that would come up from Oklahoma. Their outlooks were always very detailed. Same with Tulsa's. I love Tulsa's outlooks because they are always extremely detailed on when storms are going to develop, where they're going to develop, how they're going to develop, what's going to be expected. You know, why can't all these other offices do that? Like, come on. So, anyway, that's a bit of a look at what's expected. In terms of other offices that I did not mention from this Broadcastify, Kansas City is in a risk starting tomorrow night. That's when the front is expected to start impacting parts of their area. So parts of eastern Kansas, like Topeka into Pleasant Hill, their area will be tomorrow night through Saturday. And that is also likely part of the line that's going to hit Illinois. We'll just have to see. There might be 2 separate lines. Some offices have been hinting at 2 lines, one going, more northerly, one going more southerly. We'll just have to wait and see how this system evolves. But anyway, guys, stay tuned for that because I will definitely keep you all updated on what happens. As for now, guys, Gabriel Gregson signing off.